New information in the sudden death of 80s pop star George Michael. Tonight, his manager is shedding light into how the singer died. On this Christmas night, good evening, I'm Brian Hackney.
And I'm Betty Yu. George Michael's longtime manager says the singer died of heart failure at his home in England this afternoon.
Well-wishers placed flowers and candles outside the entertainer's home in London earlier tonight. George Michael came onto the pop scene 30 years ago and never stopped making music. CBS's Chris Martinez reports.
George Michael soared to stardom in the British band Wham. He formed as a teenager in 1982 with friend Andrew Ridgeley. The son of a Greek immigrant, was best known through the 80s and 90s for his twist on post-disco dance pop. His first solo single, Careless Whisper, debuted in 1984, shortly before Wham split up. But I gotta think twice. 3 years later, his first solo album, called Faith, went on to sell more than 20 million copies. The songwriter released several hit singles, including the raunchy I Want Your Sex, with a provocative music video played extensively on MTV just as the AIDS crisis worsened. Offstage, the singer and songwriter was arrested in 1998 for lewd conduct in a public restroom by an undercover police officer. Let's go outside. Michael, who was not openly gay, reacted by releasing the single and video outside, making light of the charges and police, and opening up about his sexual orientation. He was arrested again in North London in 2008 for drug use. The state revoked his driver's license in 2010 for 5 years after he drove his Land Rover into the side of a building. Michael was an admitted user of marijuana and prescription sedatives. Michael nearly died of pneumonia in 2011. His recovery inspired his 2012 hit White Light, which he performed at the Olympic Games in London. He was in production for a documentary about his life, set to be released next year. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Of course, George Michael touched the lives of millions through his music.
KPIX 5's Joe Vazquez shows us tonight people in the Castro are mourning the pop icon by celebrating his life.
Last Christmas, the fact that he died today is just crazy.
Inside the San Francisco Badlands Club on 18th Street, they're playing Last Christmas and other George Michael videos and lamenting their loss.
My heart is broken, and it's a Christmas day. I'm really sorry about George Michael.
It reaches out to a whole variety of generations, so the passing of anyone that can reach so far is very sad.
'Cause I gotta have faith.
Faith is something that I've totally gone into, and when I started dancing and all his little movements and his cute little leather jackets, like, that was way before it was cool or acceptable, and he didn't care, he still did it.
The music and the style, yes, he was all about that. But a lot of the folks I talked to here in the Castro tell me George Michael was also an icon in the gay community.
His music helped me with coming out and just dealing with that process.
For people who were gay, they didn't have to say they were gay to know that we connected with them on a different level. George Michael was that guy. Like, we all knew he was cool, and we could relate to him way before he actually publicly announced.
But it turns out we didn't really know George Michael. The world-famous pop icon, whose star had faded in recent years, died before most of us had any idea he was even sick.
Well, and that's him, right? He's mysterious. So he ended it in the way that he lived his life.
Joe Vazquez, KPIX 5.
Star Wars